Hey, why aren't you giving me any help with any of these preparations?
Huh? What are you going on about this time? Exactly what is it that you think I'm not helping you with?
Obviously, I'm talking about the preparations for the wedding ceremony. I mean, all this time has passed and we haven't even decided on the wedding chapel yet. Didn't we just say to each other that we need to decide on the wedding location before summer? Time is running out and we've gotten nothing done.
If that's the case, then why don't you just go ahead and choose a place that you like?
Why do I always have to be the one to choose? We should be doing this stuff together. It shouldn't be all up to me. You have to help me decide where we should have the ceremony. Come on, this is important. I mean, you're literally playing games on your phone while we're checking out wedding chapels. Are you even interested in this wedding at all?
I don't have any strong preference about the location. Why don't you just go ahead and decide on the best one? I have total faith in your good judgment and taste.
Oh, that's very convenient for you, isn't it? Wow, that's so typical and really irresponsible of you. You're always leaving everything for me to do on my own. It's like you're not even involved in this wedding at all. Don't forget, I was the one who originally said that we didn't need to have a wedding ceremony. And it was you who insisted, no, we're going to have one.
That's because it looks better to have a ceremony. After all, everyone has a ceremony when they get married. It's just the right thing to do.
Fine. Then if you actually want a wedding ceremony, help me with the planning and preparation for it. I'm completely stretched to my limit just with my job responsibilities, and I have no time to do all this by myself. Lately, I've been sacrificing way too much of my precious time off for all this wedding preparation stuff.
What? What are you even talking about? If I didn't know better, I'd say that you're trying to act busy to avoid doing this stuff.
It's not an act I'm doing. I really am that busy with work. Why do you refuse to acknowledge that?
Okay. Don't get so upset. Too much stress will age you prematurely and give you gray hair. You'll get more wrinkles, too.
If that's true, dealing with you is gonna age me several decades by tomorrow. You'll be marrying an old lady. You're really getting on my last nerve with your apathetic attitude.
Okay. I understand that you're stressed out and feeling overwhelmed by everything. I promise that I'll pay closer attention and participate next time we go to check out a wedding chapel.
Don't just say it. Do it. Actions speak louder than words, you know. It's also really rude to the wedding chapel people when you don't pay attention to what they're telling us. They work hard to earn our business.
What am I supposed to do about it? It's not my fault the wedding chapel tours are so damn boring. Hey, you're a bit high-strung and on edge lately. You've always known who I am and how my personality is. Why are you suddenly getting upset with me about stuff that shouldn't surprise you?
Like I said, work is really, really busy and it's taking up all my mental and physical energy. I work overtime and come home so late I have no time or energy left for all this.
Wow, you really have become quite the career woman. Atta girl.
I don't need your praise. I need you to help me out by shouldering some of this burden. Will you please take some responsibility for a change? Please, help me with these wedding preparations.
Okay. I promise that I'll put some thought into the best place for the ceremony. Hey, you gotta listen to this.
What is it?
I just went with a friend to a palm reader, and guess what they told me? They told me, don't get married yet. I mean, talk about amazing timing. The ceremony is so soon.
Oh, is that so?
What's with the indifferent attitude? What's that supposed to mean?
It means that you made a promise to me, but you didn't keep it, did you?
Whoa, wait a minute. A promise? What promise did I break?
I ended up having to decide on the wedding chapel all by myself after all, didn't I? You promised that you'd go with me, but you only went to the very first chapel.
Hey, at least I went with you to one. That's gotta count for something, right? Just going to the first one should have been enough, right?
I told you very clearly that that was not enough. You were supposed to go to all of them with me.
Yeah, well... You should know that I stopped going with you after you told me not to speak to the planner anymore. That's because you were jealous of the wedding planner, weren't you? What a drama queen you are. I mean, just how hung up on me are you, anyway? So possessive.
I didn't tell you to stop talking to the planner because I was jealous of her. What I did was warn you not to keep asking her all those weird personal questions. What are your measurements? Do you have a boyfriend? All you asked her were stupid, offensive questions.
What can I say? The wedding planner was exactly my type. Haha. She had a great rack, and her face was beautiful too. Not to mention a really shapely behind.
Oh, give me a break. You are seriously checking our wedding planner out while we are planning our ceremony?
She did seem like a bit of a party girl, though. It probably wouldn't take much effort to get her in bed.
Would you please get your mind out of the gutter and put some effort into this promise that you made? Plus, it's just rude to that planner to talk like that.
I really don't want to go to the next appointment with her. I mean, I can't help it if I noticed her ample bosom. You can't blame me for having eyes.
Okay, that's enough about the wedding planner's cleavage already. And, by the way, when are you going to buy me a wedding ring? It's been a few months now since you said you'd get one for me.
Oh, damn, that's right. I forgot all about it. Unfortunately, my money is pretty tight right now, so it's probably not gonna happen this month.
Yeah, your money is always tight. Some things just never change, do they?
Yeah, well, I just bought a brand new motorcycle, so I don't have any cash right now. For now, why don't you just go ahead and buy the ring yourself? After all, we don't need it until the wedding ceremony, right?
So, that's how it's gonna be again? The usual avoidance of responsibility, huh? Fine. Have it your way.
Please just do me this favor, okay? It's in the best interest of having the wedding ceremony. I also have something else that I need to talk to you about. Paying for the ceremony is also probably going to be really tough for me.
Yeah. Weddings are expensive. No one can pay for a wedding easily.
I just mean that I don't have as much savings as I thought I did.
You told me that you have savings! In fact, you said that we should have a ceremony precisely because you have money saved up for one.
Well, I did have some money saved up before. About $700.
What? Are you high? You can't have a wedding ceremony for $700.
Yeah, I really didn't think a wedding ceremony would cost so much money. But it's no big deal. I mean, you have money for this, right?
So, wait. Let me get this straight. You not only leave all the ceremony preparation to me, but I have to pay for it all too? Are you seriously telling me that? If you had no intention of being involved in either the planning or paying for it, you should never have said that you want a wedding ceremony in the first place.
Hey, you were enthusiastic about the whole thing too, after we got started with it.
Yeah, but I didn't think I would be shouldering the entire burden, both financially and in time and effort. Good grief. Please help me out with something here. Anything! If you're not going to help me with this at all, I'll just call the whole thing off and be done with it.
Jeez, don't get so upset about it. I'll pay you back for this at some point sooner or later. For now, let's just get it paid for and move forward, okay?
Really? Do you really mean that? I feel like I can't believe what you say about anything anymore.
Sarah, I'm guessing that you've probably arrived at the chapel by now, right? I'm not going to make it to the ceremony today after all. I just don't feel like doing this whole thing anymore.
Is someone getting married today?
What? Quit messing around. Are you still half asleep? Today is our wedding day.
Huh? I'm not aware of any such plans today. I have no idea what you're talking about. Why on earth would I ever have a wedding ceremony with you? What a complete and total waste of time and money that would be. I canceled the whole wedding ceremony a long time ago.
Wait, what do you mean you canceled it? But you've been totally busy preparing for it all this time.
How quickly you forget. I told you. I warned you that I would cancel the ceremony if you gave me no help with it. And you still refused to take responsibility for any of it, didn't you? So in the end, I finally decided that it's not worth the trouble and that enough is enough.
Huh? What do you mean? You mean you actually canceled it because I didn't help with the planning?
I sure did. Just like I told you that I would. I warned you. And you would have noticed that it was all canceled if you had participated even a little bit in the preparations. But you lost all interest in any of it early on, didn't you?
Hey, I've been busy lately. You're not the only busy person in the world.
You've been busy? So what? So have I. I've been stretched to my limit with work this entire time from the beginning. What are you so busy with? All you've been doing is screwing around. Tell me what's been keeping you so busy.
Wait, what about your parents? Do they know? Have you told them about this?
I've already let them know that the wedding ceremony is not happening.
So you're saying that I'm the only one who didn't know about all this?
Apparently so. I guess you haven't talked to your own parents then. Well, you left all the invitations and contacting people entirely to me, so this is what happens when you refuse to be involved in the planning. But honestly, you're not noticing any of this until the day of the party is pretty ridiculous, isn't it?
That's because I believed in you and left all that stuff to you.
You didn't leave all that stuff to me. You forced all that stuff on me. There's a difference, you know. The invitations haven't even been sent either, so nobody even knows that today was supposed to be the day of the ceremony. Did you not even mention this wedding to any of your friends? Wow, you really don't care about any of this at all, do you?
My plan was to invite mostly friends from my hometown, so... I did tell them that I was getting married, but we don't even talk much, let alone meet, so...
Do you really not have any newer friends you've made here who you were going to invite?
Of course I do. I'm just saying that the closest friends I have are my childhood ones.
Didn't you think it was odd that I haven't brought up the subject of the wedding at all lately? I mean, sure, we haven't been talking much lately, but still, you didn't even notice.
Hey, I thought you were just busy and stressed out with work. You get quiet when you're stressed out like that, so I thought that was the reason.
Yeah, right. It's more like you just don't care about anything. Certainly not about the wedding ceremony and not about me. I mean, it's not unusual to hear nothing at all from you for days and days. You just have no interest in me at all, do you? Honestly, I should have never even considered marrying you.
Well, this whole thing is a big pain in the neck anyway. Canceling the ceremony is no big deal, right? Let's just call the wedding off. Like I just said, I don't feel like dealing with it anymore anyway. But you know, it was pretty lousy of you to not say anything about canceling it until now. After all, I am your boyfriend. Don't I deserve to know?
Yeah, you're not my boyfriend. Not in any way, shape, or form.
What? Of course I am.
No, I don't consider you my significant other in any way. All you are to me is troublesome baggage.
What are you talking about? We're obviously a couple.
Oh, we're a couple? Then let's put an end to this relationship properly. For me, this was over a long time ago.
Don't be silly. Why are you suddenly talking like this?
What? Now you're saying you don't want to break up with me? You just said that you don't want to marry me, didn't you?
All I said was that the wedding ceremony is a hassle and I don't want to deal with it. I didn't say that I want to quit dating you, just that I don't want to get married anymore.
What? Wow, you really are in your own little world. If things were reversed and the wedding were suddenly cancelled by you today, I would have dumped you without thinking twice. No question. To me, that would have been absolutely unforgivable.
But the end result here is that it's cancelled anyway, right? And you're the one who ended up canceling it, so it seems like we're both thinking the same thing. The truth is that you didn't want to have the wedding either. Admit it.
No, I didn't cancel the wedding ceremony for you, Rodney. However, at any rate, my intention is definitely to break up with you. So goodbye. Have a nice life.
Wait, you can't just unilaterally decide something like this. I don't want to break up with you.
Yes, of course you don't. And the reason you don't want to break up with me is because you can't make ends meet without my income, isn't it? Read this very carefully. I'm not your ATM.
Is there anything good about you besides your money? I sure don't see anything. You should be on your knees thanking me for even dating you. There are dozens of other women I could have if I want to.
I have no use for irresponsible, conceited men like you, Rodney. You are truly useless. If there are actually some other women out there who want you, I will gladly give you to them. And if there really are that many of them, by all means, please go out and get them. Be my guest.
Now you're just being hard-headed and argumentative.
And another thing, for the record, I decided against us getting married even earlier than you did. And yet you were running around having a great time telling everyone that we were getting married, weren't you? Do you have any idea how ridiculous you look doing that?
So, it looks like you never wanted to do it at all, and I was the only one who intended to get married.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate, actually. You were all for doing the wedding until just recently. All the while not knowing that I had already canceled the chapel reservations.
Stop it. I look like such a fool. Like it was only me who was in love with you and that it wasn't mutual.
Yes, absolutely. You do look absolutely foolish.
You better not talk about me like that to others. If you do, I'll show you no mercy, you disgusting skank.
Really? Who are you calling disgusting? You're the disgusting one, Rodney. Your personality is ugly beyond words. And on top of that, you're good for nothing and totally irresponsible.
That's it. I've had enough. Fine. Have it your way. We're through. However, just for the record, you didn't dump me. I dumped you.
Oh, give me a break. You must be trying to salvage some of your wounded pride. That's even more pathetic. But if you need to think about it that way, be my guest and do what you like. I can't say how everyone else will see it, though.
Oh, come on! Now what lies are you spreading about us and our breakup?
About what now?
Somehow I have become the loser in this whole situation. You had to go and say something uncalled for to someone I know, didn't you?
Wait. Come to think of it, I did run into someone you know while I was out running errands. They asked when the wedding would be and I told them that there wasn't going to be one.
Yeah, and the way you said it made it look like I was the only one who wanted to get married.
Yeah. They were a bit taken aback by that, actually. You have to admit, it really is pretty sad how you were the only one excited to get married and I had no intention of doing it.
What an absolute lie. You obviously went out of your way to make me look bad and hurt my reputation.
Not at all. I only told the truth when I was asked about it. All I did was clearly explain that we have broken up and that there will be no wedding.
Yes, and there's something off about that whole story too. Why does everyone think that you dumped me? No matter how much I explain, Everyone thinks that I was dumped.
Well, you getting dumped by me is just more fitting than me getting dumped by you, isn't it? After all, it's normal behavior for you, isn't it? It makes sense. Everyone says that I'm a waste of time for you anyway.
I don't understand why my reputation is so bad. Always thinking that you're gonna get dumped or something. All I hear is ridiculous stuff about me. Everyone looks down on me now, even more than you do. Even my friends.
Well, that's definitely true. But the reason is that I'm not irresponsible like you, Rodney. I am trustworthy and dependable. I conduct myself in a responsible way. Do you even know what people say about you?
What do they say?
They say that you're my pet.
Your pet?
I never thought of you that way, though. Because pets are precious, and they are even sometimes in charge of their owners. But you're more like a rodent that infested my house. Not a pet, but just a creature that I allowed to exist in my home.
Who are you calling a rat? Who? Don't forget that I'm the one who started this relationship.
It's really time for you to stop this ridiculously conceited and delusional thinking. The truth is that it was me who turned my back on you first. You're the one getting dumped here, Rodney.
You're being so heartless.
Yeah, I remember how satisfied you looked when you said you didn't want to do the wedding after all. You must have felt pretty superior jerking me around like that, huh? I bet you thought I'd cry, didn't you?
Shut your mouth.
You can't even keep up your day-to-day life without me and my income, you useless loser.
I do just fine without you.
Even on dates, I was always the one paying for everything. You'd always say, things are tight, and sponge off me.
I can take care of everything just fine without you.
Weren't you just whining about not being able to pay your credit card bill next month? That's what happens when you waste all your money on frivolous things and don't save anything.
Just shut up. It's none of your concern anymore.
That's right. It isn't my concern anymore, Rodney. Because I am finished taking care of you.
That's just fine, you wench. Someday, you'll regret breaking up with me.
My only regret is ever thinking of marrying a useless, clueless idiot like you, Rodney. That's the biggest mistake I've ever made. I really regret not dumping you right off the bat as soon as you showed me who you really are.
What are you even saying?
I mean, you did nothing for me. Nothing at all. Not a thing. Honestly, marrying you wouldn't have been much different than living my life alone. And since that's the case, I choose a life without baggage. After that, it seems that Rodney continued to deny the fact that I dumped him, forever insisting that he was the one who dumped me. However, he always sounded so desperate and obsessive about it that it seems he ended up getting the opposite result of what he intended. He ended up being ridiculed by everyone for getting so worked up about it and denying the reality of the situation. And, as expected, he really wasn't able to live without me and my income. He had no money, and things got so bad that he even had his water shut off by the city. He was constantly borrowing money from friends and, of course, his reputation suffered even more because of this. As for me, I really needed a change, so I decided to move to an entirely new place. And, while I was at it, I got a new job too. I had already been thinking about taking a step up, so it was really perfect timing. Now I am working at a large and well-known foreign company. My own reputation was benefited from my working at a really great company. And, not surprisingly, many have said to me, Rodney was never good enough for you. They all say that the whole wedding thing was completely his own ill-conceived idea. Everyone now thinks that he's a total loser, which is the same conclusion that I came to. And, well, he actually is a loser, so it's not untrue. I just want to forget about all of this mess as soon as possible and meet someone new. Someone who actually cares about me and me about them. That's all I want now.